So happy New Year, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all got through last night and don't have too many terrible hangovers this morning. We survived. I did a nice live with Sean D. Standfast, which we saw in the New Year's both here in the Czech Republic and in the UK. Elvis suffered a bit though, bless him. He's terrified of the fireworks, and it was pretty loud here. But I will give it its due that it lasted around half an hour or so, and then it stopped. Whereas where I lived before, there would be sporadic outbursts throughout the entire night, which would continue that stress. So at least he seems better this morning. So hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark. And today's video is my January TBR and my Historathon 2025 quarter one, at least January, possibly February, no, January, I think, pile of possibilities. I cannot narrow it down. And the reason I've combined the videos is because I really only have one outlier in this TBR for January. And I'll come to that in a minute. Basically, normally what happens is December is my clear up month, where I try and finish off everything I was reading throughout the year. I failed in that, and I've carried over 2 books at least into this year, at least 2 books I'm actively engaging with, one being the Nicholas Shakespeare biography of Ian Fleming, and the other being the first volume in John Sugden's massive work on the life of Horatio the Lord Nelson. And so I'm going to endeavour to finish those. However, they are sadly going to take a back seat, because if I concentrate primarily on them, they're both really quite big, then I can fall behind even in this year. So you see it's a bit of a catch-up game. The outlier in terms of the only one that isn't part of Historathon is I decided to jump in with the Proust event, which I say is hosted by Greg from another TriumphalReads, and I'm going to read the first in Proust's In Search of Lost Time, The Way by Swans here. So I'm going to read it in this Penguin Classics, Penguin Modern Classics edition. And as I say, this is the only one that doesn't fall into Historathon, because even to some degree, well, perhaps of course not the biography of Fleming, but maybe, I suppose, it includes the Second World War, would have fallen into and Nelson would have fallen into the 2 latter quarters of Historathon last year. And so because this quarter, January, February, March, concentrates on ancient history or prehistory to the year 500 AD, I've got books, of course, related to that. I'm determined, I've been trying to for the last couple of years, to finally get through, for a reread, I've read it before, Suetonius's Life of the Caesars. I've only read Robert Graves's translation. I think it was in the Penguin Classics maybe, but I might be wrong. And this is a newer one by Catherine Edwards. So I'm determined to get through that this year, because I did really enjoy Graves's version. And then the only other physical one I've got, and this is also hampered why I'm calling it, the reason why I'm calling it Pile of Possibilities and instead of a TBR, because I cannot find my box of ancient history or quarter one Historathon books, and I think they might be at school. And of course I'm on school holiday. I do have a key, but I'm not really going to go over and fiddle with the alarm and everything just to check now. So I should have really checked earlier, but I was sure they were in a bookcase. But so I've just kind of cobbled together what I can. So there's Suetonius there, and then there's one which goes through from ancient history, I think all the way through to the present day, i.e. when near to when this was written, which has been said doesn't matter, as long as it covers part of it. And it's The Tribes of Britain by David Miles. Who are we and where do we come from? And it's all about the British people, from prehistory through, as I say, to more modern times. So who are the English, the Irish, the Scots and the Welsh? A ragbag of migrants reflecting thousands of years of continuity and change. Now scientific techniques can explore this complex genetic jigsaw, ancient Britons and Saxons, Celts and Romans, Vikings and Normans, and the more recent migrations which have created these multicultural lands. And I think that would be jolly interesting. So, as I say, it's not set in stone. If I find that box, then it could change. So, and then the others are all on Kindle. I quite fancy giving Adrian Goldsworthy's Philip and Alexander, Kings and Conquerors, a go. That, of course, is Alexander the Great and his father, Philip of Macedonia. So that should be, or that could be proved to be interesting. And then I really like Mary Beard, and I have had it for years, and I don't think I've read it, but it's her book on Pompeii. So that could be another possibility for this first quarter of Historathon, or at least this first month of the first quarter of Historathon. And then what I'm really drawn to, actually, is Peter Jones's Quid Pro Quo, what the Romans really gave the English language. So I guess if you had to press me on the point and say I had to name 2 books, then I would for Historathon in January, not of course for the entire quarter, it would be Quid Pro Quo and Suetonius, because I do think I will struggle to get through more than 3 books this month, including In Search of Lost Time, if I'm also trying to finish off the ones left over from last year. But the other books I mentioned will definitely remain on the list throughout the quarter, although perhaps not in January. We shall see. If you're taking part in Proust, or you're taking part in Historathon, or any other interesting event, do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about what you plan to read, either in quarter 1 Historathon or throughout the month of January. It's always fascinating to see what other people are going to read. So from me, once again, Happy New Year from Elvis and I to you and yours. Hope all your wishes come true. And again, thank you for all your support during the past year. And we look forward to that continuing throughout the rest of 2025. Do take care, everybody. All the best, and look after those hangovers. Bye.